In this video, I'm going to talk about a paper that I use a lot, and that's hot pressed paper, and I particularly like the range done by Sennelier, which I believe is a French company. So in terms of the structure of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to talk to you about what exactly hot pressed paper is, its characteristics, how it takes watercolor paint and how that differs from other textures of watercolor paper. I'm going to talk about this particular block, which is, I'll talk about what a block is later, but essentially all pieces of paper are glued on each of the sides. When I open this, you'll see a sketch that I've already done, which is actually a subject of one of my videos. So you'll be able to watch the actual sketch being painted later and see for yourself how the watercolor is reacting on the paper, and also how the pencil sketch itself was done. And then obviously I'm going to remove the sheet that the sketch is on, show you how to remove a sheet, because it's pretty self-explanatory, but you should still be careful with it and use the right tools. Now what you'll see with a watercolor block, if you can see that, is that it's glued on all sides. Now this is a block that I've been using, so obviously it's a well-used block. It's looking a little bit, you can see, I've torn other sheets off. And if I lift it here, you can just about see a bit of the sketch I'm going to show you later, but you can see there's a number of sheets left here, and that's the cover sheet, and you can see some of the details here. There's the product code if you're interested. There'll be a link in the description box to show you where you can purchase this Sennelier paper. I don't know if you're able to get this exact format, but yeah, like I say, so it's all glued, and the reverse, there's the reverse in various languages describing the history of the company, and it's I think you'll agree it's a nice piece of equipment. It's just nice to sort of hold, to look at, to have. Okay, so like I say, this block, it has a nice feel. Blocks are great for outdoors because you just take the unit, you've got all your paper in one go, you lift up the sheet and you can just rest it on your lap or wherever, and it's all nice and firm, and it just has a nice feel. Also very important, if it's windy outside, it's not going to flap about. Anyway, so let's open this block. Let's see what it looks like. Like I say, this is the cover sheet. When you buy it, it has a cover sheet on it, which is worth keeping to protect whatever work you've done, or just the paper itself. A little pencil smudge here, but this is the subject of a video I did not so long ago. You can see that on my channel. This is a Swiss village called Bursan. It's in the canton of Vaud, which is about 20 kilometers north of Geneva. And this was done a couple of weeks ago in the winter. All the vineyards were still completely bare. There's no budding, no leaves, nothing. And they have a character all of themselves. You have these vast swathes of this sort of burnt sienna. It looks beautiful in the winter. These are the Swiss Alps in the background. In fact, I think that might actually be the French Alps. Now this, so let's move this a little bit closer. You can see here the smooth texture of the paper. I think you can see that. I hope the camera picks that up. I've used a lost and found technique. So I did the wash. You'll see that on the video. I did the wash and then I softened some edges with a wet brush. But because that technique works better on cold pressed paper, because you have more time to do that before the paint dries. You've got to be really quick if you're going to do that on hot pressed paper, because if you're not quick enough, the paint starts to dry and the clean water in the brush pushes that paint outwards and causes that dreadful cauliflowering effect. You might want that effect, but if you don't, it's awful. It spoils the painting. Now, I've just about got it right in this one. What I mean is I just about avoided it. You can see where some of the water has pushed it out a bit, but I really liked that sort of random effect. These little flecks here that, imperfections I didn't bother with. This was a carefully drawn painting, so any sort of minor imperfections helped just not loosen it up. I wasn't trying to be loose on this painting, but it just gives it a bit of character. You can see the colour isn't. This is a yellow ochre colour. It's just nice and bright. This is a light red colour, light red with a bit of burnt umber, and you can see here also that there was a lot of drawing initially done on this, and I used this Derwent sketching pencil. I've done a review on this if you're interested in the HB grade. I love this pencil. Sorry, this is a 2B grade. I'm just using this as a pointer. But I normally use HB, and you'll find that the Derwent sketching pencil is quite soft anyway compared to normal HBs. Yeah, you can see that there was a lot of drawing done here, and for pencil and wash work, again, hot press paper is great. Pencil and washes, you do all your tonal values, you do all your structure work with the pencil, and essentially then all you're left having to do is lovely watercolour washes over that. I wouldn't call it pure watercolour, which is where pencil work is absolutely at a minimum and all tonal values are done with the watercolour itself. So we'll put this down. Sorry if it was wobbling about a bit as I was talking. And what we're going to do now is take a sheet off the block. Like I say, these are the sheets exposed, and if you just put your nail underneath, you can, sorry about this, you can just, can you see that? You can just open it and you slot a device underneath there and gently, and you must be gentle. If you're not gentle, it can rip. They are very, very firmly glued. And I like to use what appears to be the logical tool for the job, which is a letter opener. I live in Switzerland at the moment, so I've got a Swiss letter opener. Okay, so what we do to remove this painting that I've already done is that we carefully find our point to slot the brush underneath, to slot the letter opener underneath, and very carefully, it's not, there's nothing difficult here, just be careful, that's all you have to do. You just work the letter opener or palette knife or whatever you're using along the edge. You can hear it come apart, and there's a bit of resistance here, so I'm not going to work against that. That just happens. There's a bit of resistance, like I say, so I'm going to go back along here, and probably there's a bit of resistance there, but you just work your way through it, and there we go. Now I put that back down again. That sheet is now released from the glued sides, and we lift it off, and there's the sketch. That is the entire. There's the piece of paper, and now we're left with the watercolor block ready for another sketch. Okay, so I think that was more of a discussion than a review. I hope you find it useful. I hope it helps you understand when and where you might want to use hot pressed paper, as particularly in a block like this. And obviously I highly recommend this paper. It's the paper that a lot of my growing collection of YouTube videos have been sketched on. Sometimes cartridge paper, but at the moment mostly it's been this paper. So obviously I recommend it, and there's links in the description box below this video where you can see where you can buy this, and links to the relevant videos where you can see me actually sketching on this paper and what it actually, how the paint sits on it and how the paper reacts to the paint, etc. And if you're not a subscriber, well, thanks a lot for watching this video. Please subscribe. The button, if my finger's pointing in the right direction, will be a little red button down there to the bottom right. You press it and you become a subscriber. It simply means that when I do new videos, you get a little notification that a new video is on, and I'm trying to increase the output of my videos at the moment. Well, that's it. I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, just put them in the comment box below, and I'll set about answering them as best I can. Okay, until the next video, thanks very much. Have a great day. Bye bye.